Today I'm going to show you how to get this cool toned plum eye. This is a perfect alternative to a black or brown smoky eye, especially on pale skin tones or light colored eyes. It's super flattering, very dramatic without being overpowering, and beautiful for a night out, a date night, whatever you want to get super glam for. This is the Rare Beauty liquid highlighter. I'm using this underneath my foundation on the high points of the face. Now I'm using my favorite foundation from Urban Decay. Using my Natasha Denona concealer. You really don't need a lot of concealer under your eyes. If anything, the more you add, the more it's going to crease. I tap to blend, and I like to keep the product only in the inner corner of my eye and then the outer corner. This is the Haus Labs contour stick. I'm following the natural hollows of my cheek, and then where the eye meets the nose. Really take your time on this blend and blend the product upwards. This is the shade Malaya from Refi. Make sure you're using a small enough brush to really place the product only where you want it. I'm always just tapping my brush so I don't remove any of the products that I put underneath. I always take a little blush on the bridge of my nose as well. I like to draw my brow shape by bringing this across in a straight line on the bottom of the brow with really light strokes out to the side. And then I'll do the same on the top. So I kind of am drawing two parallel lines at the top of the brow and the bottom of the brow. And then I turn the pencil so that I can create vertical strokes. I always comb through the brows with a dry spoolie on the back of the pencil, and then I finish with the Benefit Precisely My Brow Wax. Moving on to the eyes, I'm priming with the NARS eye primer. If I really want a full glam look, I always use a powder puff and a loose powder, and I really stamp it into this triangle under the eye. Look how this side is blurred with the powder and this side is still shiny, and you can see the eye bag a lot more. Make sure there's no creases in the eye primer before you set the lids. I start all of my eye looks by carving just a little bit of definition above my natural crease. Because my eyes are hooded, if I put this shade in my actual crease, you won't be able to see it when my eyes are open. I'll also blend this into my inner corner and make it all look cohesive, as well as pulling outward to kind of start creating a wing shape. I'm gonna use that same shade to connect the crease shade that we just did with the eye in a V shape on this outer corner. So this is the shade Plum Pop from Ulta Beauty Collection, and I'm going to place that all over the lid. I'm using the same brush to put that under the eye. I'll have to edit out all of this blending, but just know that I've been blending and adding more color for a couple minutes now. I'm lining my full inner waterline with a dark brown into the inner corner. I'll also hit the bottom waterline with the same shade and pulling this all the way into the inner corner. When I line my bottom waterline, I always like to blend it before it dries down to make sure there's no harsh edges. I'm lining my upper lid with Teddy Eye Kohl from MAC. It's a dark brown that has warm golden and black undertones. Line all the way across the lid and then drag this out. Smudging this with the same brush I used to apply the purple shadow. Trust the process. This is one of those looks where the mascara brings it all together. I'm using a volumizing black mascara. You take your time wiggling the brush at the base of the lashes so that you can create that depth. I'm using Maybelline Sky High on the bottom lashes. This is the shade Los Angeles from NYX. NYX lip pencils are such a great affordable option. They remind me a lot of the Makeup by Mario pencils, which are my favorite. Just blending with my finger softly, and then coming back in to shade the outer edges of the lip. Just slowly building up color and smudging with my finger as I go to create this really soft effect. I'm just tapping a light pink in the center. This is Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. And then again, I'm gonna smudge with my finger. You could leave the lip there and just do a matte look, but I always like to add a gloss. I'm just gonna throw a clear gloss on top. Every time I finish my makeup, I always wanna add more blush.